Good afternoon and welcome to Matthew, hanging with Matthew in the afternoons. I am God's child and my name is Cynthia. We'll be eating from the 27th chapter of Matthew. The caption reads, Jesus brought before Pilate, 27:1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. The caption reads, the death of Judas. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed, and went and hung himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in, wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was value, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave it to them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. The caption reads, Pilate questions Jesus. Verse 11, and Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, art thou the king of the Jews? And Jesus said to him, thou sayest. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. And then Pilate said to him, hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. The caption reads, Jesus sentenced to die. Verse 15. Now at the feast of the governor was one to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they gathered together, Pilate said to them, Who will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For they knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have thou nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things in this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said unto them, whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said to them, what shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ? They all said unto him, let him be crucified. And the governor says, why? What evil have he done? But they cried out the more, saying, let him be crucified. When Pontius Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a turmoil was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. Then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and our children. Then released he Barabbas unto them. And when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. And the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put him a scarlet robe. And when they had platted a crown of thorns they put it on his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit upon him, and they took the reed and smote him on the head. And after that they mocked him. They took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to be crucified. The crucifixion, verse 32. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name, and they compelled to bear his cross. And when they were coming to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink, mingled with gall, and when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him there, and set up over his head the accusation written, This is the King of the Jews. When there were two thieves crucified with one on the right hand and the other on the left, and they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, Thou that destroyed the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save yourself. If thou be the Son of God, come down from that cross. Likewise also the chief priests mocking him with the scribes and elders. The scribes and elders said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he had been the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God. The thieves also which are crucified with him cast the same in his teeth. Now from the thieves also which were crucified with him cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Some of them then stood there when they heard that, said, This man cried for Elijah. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it in a reed and gave it to him to drink. The rest said, Let us see whether Elijah will come to save him. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks went, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now then, the centurion and they that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake and those things that were done. They feared greatly, saying, Truly, this was the Son of God. And many women were there, beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which was Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. The caption reads, The burial of Jesus. When the evening was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, who also himself was Jesus' disciple. He went unto Pilate and begged the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the spectre. The caption reads, "The guard at the tomb." Now on the next day that followed, that the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, "Sir, we remember that the deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore that the spectre be made sure until the third day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say to the people, He is risen from the dead. So the last error shall be worse than the first." Pilate said unto them, "We have a watch. Ye have a watch. Go your way, make it as sure as ye can." So they went and made the spectre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. And that is the end of chapter 27. But I didn't read about what Jesus told the thief he will see him in paradise. Hold on a tick, I'm going to go and see if I can find it. Well, you guys, all I got to say is keep it breezy, enjoy your day, and stay tuned for the evening post. Amen. Amen.